Having faith. Sometimes when you're creating something, and for me that almost always is painting, but other art is still kind of the thing that I'm doing, there is a point where you have to have faith that it will work out. This is the ugly time. And I've talked about this before, but it bears worth reminding. You have measured, you have compared, and you think you've got everything right, but it still doesn't look right. You have an idea about what the long game will look like and what you will expect it to look like and how you're able to do that. But in your head, you're going, nope, something's not right. Now, this is where lots of other people stop and give up. But as an artist, you have to know when to start over or continue. It becomes a gut thing. Now, if you like this kind of content and where this video is going is intriguing, and you might like more of this content in the future, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel. Back to the painting. This, as an artist of any kind, that with experience you know that sometimes when you keep on working, you might make it worse or overworked. Now, overworking is a weird stage of art where the piece isn't or doesn't look natural anymore or sound natural anymore if you're writing. Somehow it looks forced and struggled with, though sometimes it suits the piece nicely. So there you go. You have to really think about your end game, really. Most of the time the end game is predictable, but sometimes happy accidents happen too, and so you have to be open-minded when you're an artist. Sometimes giving up too quickly is a mistake also, and plays in your mind, especially when you're not feeling brave enough to carry on. Stopping can also be a cop-out. And in this painting, the drawing came out fine. It took a bit, but it came out fine. I mean, again, I'm using faces that I've really never done before, so they're really pushing me to grow and to see what's there. So it's coming along, and I like it, and it's great, and it looks like my reference photo. I'm happily carrying on and doing the fine lines and thinking, okay, that's cool. And then I apply the first layer of paint. Oh my gosh. I thought I had really messed up. And this layer, this first layer, is supposed to be dark lights or shadows. It's often called shadows. And it sets the tone for the whole painting. Oh my, yeah, I'm having a hard time even looking at it right now. I like purples and Payne's gray as dark lights for skin as a rule, and it depends on the painting and what I'm going for. And this time I thought, hey, I'm going to be purple. I like the undercolor for this person. And it's the first layer that is also, for me, as I lay it down, it's capturing the general shapes and the direction. And I also kind of feel like it's also, will I have good luck? I'm a little bit superstitious that way. So this is where my reference photo and I are colliding. This is where my brain is thinking what's there, but I know visually what's not there. The photo is probably a little more dramatic than what I was having confidence for. But also in my mind, I'm thinking this is a great opportunity for learning. Just push through. This is about your confidence and not necessarily about the painting. Sometimes confidence, well, almost all of the ways, confidence is a mind game. So I'm carrying on and I'm having less and less confidence as I go through. I'm kind of okay with where it's going, but it's still given me unhappiness and a lot of worry, because the shadows need to be richer and more dramatic, and I'm still not feeling secure. So then I decide to add the brown. And well, if that just didn't make things 100% worse in my mind. And again, I feel right now that I have lost it. So if I've just given up and I've lost it, well, I might as well try something and learn something new. So I carry on. The big gulp goes on, and I carry on. And I carry on. And sometimes this struggle feels like forever. It just goes on and darker and more dramatic, and I'm losing confidence all the time. Okay, big lesson. I can do this, big lesson. Look at the photo and keep referring to the photo and get out of what my expectations are. It's about what it will look like in the end. Yeah. So I'm breathing. I'm freaking out, but I'm breathing and I'm carrying on because, well, it's either the trash or I carry on. And I'm carrying on. I can do this. I know I can. I'm using my wide brush and I'm using my second-hand watercolor, so, I'm pushing everything as far as I can go. Okay, if I take care and I really push this, I have to make sure that I dry the paper really well in between, because now I've pushed it really far and I'm in danger of breaking that down. So then I add the white and the highlights. After all, I have nothing left to lose except time, so highlights it is. I got to do the eyes first so that I can feel it. And I put the sparkle in her eyes, and I feel like the sky is now just parted and there's hope again. But still, yikes. This is going to be the time. Is this going to be the time I scrap it? Is it going to be one of those moments where I just give up out of frustration? So I mind game myself and get out of the confidence and just get into the moment. The paper is still in good shape. I haven't caused any deterioration of the paper. As long as I make sure to be delicate and dry the paper thoroughly every time with my hairdryer, it should be fine. So I carry on and I see where it still goes. It's coming. I'm starting to see the drama. I'm starting to see the highlights as really shining. It's pulling this piece of art together. And I'm starting to get a little bit more confident. It's starting to look like how I want it. Not only just like the painting, like the photo reference, although sometimes it's not as important because it's art. And yes, the reference is about getting it accurate, but it is art, the interpretation, that's going to make it happen. If I wanted to make a photo, then I'd take a photo. But this is about making a painting, so it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. It just has to be impactful and give a message that I want to say, which is, look at this amazing face. Look what this face can do. So now I'm going to bring in some punch because I feel like I've lost it again. So I'm bringing in my artline, my art pen from Rotring with the black Rotring ink, drawing ink. And I'm going to be careful because I'm going to use it for accent only in the extreme dark spots. And I'm going to use it sparingly to create and help push that emotion through. It's a real challenge. And sometimes I really, really like to lay in that black line work, especially for here, for the contrast for the hair. She's got dark hair, so I have to work with it, but I have to be careful not to overdo it. I love the long, elegant line work of a black pen. I can't help myself, I love it. But I also need to challenge myself into something more expansive. And right now that means being conservative with the line work, to have some restraint and go for less is more. So yes, I am pushing in some areas where it's really, really dark, but I'm also watching with the wrinkles in the face and trying to restrain that a little bit. This is a process of artistic struggle. And I've shared it with you because I really wanted to be vulnerable and let you know what it feels like and what a challenge art, why art is such a challenge. Because when it fails, it feels really horrible. And it will feel like I will never be able to do it again. But when I succeed, it almost feels like a miracle, like I can't even take responsibility for it. I just happened to be the vehicle there, and it felt amazing, as it does right now. It feels amazing, and somehow that I have found gold. And that's part of the reason why I like doing these real faces, because it's real. It feels like they're alive. It's not just sitting there posed and looking perfect. It's someone giving me emotion, and I'm able to translate that. It's worth the struggle. And for me, it's really, really addictive. But it's so worth it, especially when my art has conveyed the message I wanted, which is faces are amazing and they don't have to be perfect or beautiful or model perfect to be wonderful. I love this face. She's a friend of mine. She did a great job. But also that I had to push myself this far too, to find it. So we've made it. I always feel, I don't know, more brave now when I put my signature to the painting. It feels like, well, I've won. It feels like I can celebrate a success. So signing a picture is really important to me. Sometimes it takes a little more bravado, but there you go. Signed, sealed, and happy. So there you go. If you liked this video, let me know in the comments below, and please consider, well, in the future, subscribing and hitting the bell icon to all to get notified when I post more. If you have any thoughts or ideas you wish to share, leave them in the comments below. I really love reading them. Or if you have suggestions for what you might like to see in the future, that would be wonderful. So in this moment, I'm going to say it's signed, it's sealed and delivered, and I feel successful. It was a struggle, but amazing. And I'm glad we could be together in this wonderful journey. Talk to you later.